up. He's awesome, hysterical. Someone might know. He is a storytelling coach. He is an amazing entrepreneur. He's a fantastic speaker, and you may have noticed him. He used to be in Insanity videos, and he's just crushing it as a health and wellness leader. So I'm excited to bring Jimmy Nelson to the stage.
So excited to be here. My mic's on. I'm super excited to be here. Okay, I have a favor. I need a favor. Let's take a trip. We're gonna take a trip. 2007. We're gonna jump in our little time machine and go back to 2007. Think about where you were in 2007. And it is like dark 30 in the morning. You ever have to wake up so early if you're not sure, you're like, what's my name? Where am I at? Who's that? No, I'm just joking. So it's super early in the morning. New York City, hella cold. So it's already a few things I hate. It's early and it's cold, because I'm from Texas and I like the warmth. So that morning in New York City in 2007, I'm having to leave my little apartment in Queens in New York City, bundle up, layer up, take a few blocks, walk down to the subway station to take the short little ride into Manhattan. Magical Manhattan, oh my God. Who's been to Times Square? Right, it's the center of the universe. So excited, normally super excited to go there. This morning, not so excited. You see, let me back up a little, let's get back in the time machine. We'll go back a little further. The whole reason this Texas boy was in New York City, we gotta go way back to first grade. Because in first grade, it's when I found my first addiction. It probably is the strongest addiction I've ever experienced in my entire life. Because you see, in the first grade, my elementary school did a Christmas play. In my first grade class, we were picked to do a musical number called Too Fat for the Chimney. It's a very serious, deep story about how Santa Claus wasn't going to be able to deliver presents that year because he was too fat for the chimney. You see, you're ahead of me. You can do this. Okay, so back when I was in elementary school, which is probably before many of you were born, there wasn't like a childhood obesity epidemic. I was the fat kid in class. And so I just assumed like, well, I'll be Santa Claus. Nope. My best friend, Justin Martin, like the skinniest kid in class, they're like, you get to be Santa. He gets the star role. They just put pillows around him. Him and all my friends, the rest of my friends put on like 1980s leg warmers and headbands and aerobic gear, and they were all like upstage, like out here by the couch. And they were doing like literally like an aerobics routine around Justin and yours truly, fat sweet Jimmy. Don't we love him? We're cheering him on. They said, Jimmy, go down here at the edge of the stage, and we're gonna put you in full feety pajamas, like with the feet and the drop bottom and the stocking cap that my granny made. And they say, you get to sing a solo while all your friends are safe. They're safe up here, they're together. You go down here, fat, insecure kid, and sing your heart out to all your peers. He's too fat for the chimney, too fat for the chimney. And then, right then, that's when the addiction started, because as I got into the song, I saw a nod, I saw a smile, and I was like, holy shit. This is what I'm meant to do the rest of my life. Is get an emotional response from an audience to change lives, to make you smile, to make you laugh, to make you think, to make you move. You know the worst part about knowing in the first grade what you're supposed to do the rest of your life? When you hate the body you're in, and you hate your life, and you think that there's no way I'm ever going to be able to do this. Because not only was I the only fat kid in the class, back then there wasn't a lot of divorced parents, but I was that kid too in my class. Always feeling torn between two homes. I just didn't feel like I belonged anywhere, safe. I didn't know who I was. I was always trying to be whatever house I was at. Let me morph into something to like make them love me, but then I want you to love me, and I just want to be accepted, except for when I was here. That was home. They liked me. Just because I was being myself, not because I was playing a version of myself. I was just doing something I loved. So that started me on a journey of knowing that I was meant for something more. But just looking at all the reasons I'll never be able to do it. And there really started a seed of resentment in me. Fast forward through junior high, high school, I continued to get bigger, put on more weight. I want to go to acting schools, but my mom's like, Jimmy, we can't even afford to put you on a plane to let you audition. And I felt so frustrated because I'd go to a 2-year school, and then I'd go to a college I didn't want to go to and drop out there, and I just kept seeing other people do the things I wanted to do, but of course they're going to have success. Look, they have a scholarship. Their parents are paying for their schooling. They're not working 2 jobs like me and trying to be in the theater department and audition and be in shows. Of course they're successful. How often is it to look at somebody else and discredit their success because you think, oh, it came easy to them? They don't understand my situation. We have no idea what that person's story is either. Right? Exactly. And so I continued to try and fail and try and fail. Until in my early 20s, I found myself as a 100-pound overweight, 3-time college dropout, living back at home with my parents, waiting tables. Plan A didn't work. And I remember there was one morning, getting out of the shower. It wasn't early, because I already told you I didn't like to get up early. Kind of would sleep in until 11. I was waiting tables and bartending at night. And I got out of the shower and I stopped by the mirror. A place a guy 100 pounds overweight doesn't like to spend a lot of time in, specifically after getting out of the shower. And for whatever reason that morning I just stopped. And I didn't respect the person looking back at me. And like it was yesterday, I remember going through my head, Jimmy, if you don't change, you're gonna be alone the rest of your life. Now, there was no lightning and thunder. My life didn't change. I wasn't always motivated after that, but something shifted in me there. Thankfully, not long after that, one of the guys I was bartending with, I noticed him losing weight. Now, you guys, I envy you ladies. You rock at sharing what works. If somebody looks amazing, you're like, oh, sweetheart, what are your shoes? What hair stuff do you use? You're like, oh, let me share. We guys don't operate that way. I'm noticing my buddy Jeremy, looking good. We don't, roll up on him and be like, yo, Jeremy. Looking swell in those pants, buddy. But sometimes, the pain point gets hard enough, you're gonna swallow the ego, right? You watch, you're like, I'm not gonna ask. Fuck. Jeremy, this is stupid, why are you losing weight? You talk about remembering things like it was yesterday. He literally said, I'm doing these DVD. He couldn't get the last D out. I was like, nope. I'm not doing your Jane Fonda workout program. So I was a no. The next time you're selling, whether it's your product, your services, you're trying to get somebody to join your team, you're trying to get people in your coaching program and they say no, just remember, I was a no. No really doesn't mean not right now. Because this is what happens. You come tell me how I can change my life. Because everybody wants to bitch and complain. And then you offer a solution, right? There's a difference between wanting to complain and wanting to change things. And you say, hey, here's the solution and this was a cost. And I'm like, nope, not gonna do that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch. And I'm just gonna keep. That stuff doesn't work! She looks good. How'd she go on that vacation? She just plays on social media? That's what they do. So keep doing what you do, even when the people tell you no. Right? Thank you. So I finally did the DVDs. I started losing weight. You know what was crazy? I was excited about something for the first time in 2 years. That was more that meant more to me than the weight loss did, just being excited about life. Fast forward to losing weight, doing some more challenging programs. Like nobody in my family had muscles or were ripped or anything, so I didn't have a role model. But then I got enough confidence to jump back into the theater world. Started auditioning for shows in Dallas. Started getting on the stage. Transferring from the funny fat guy sidekick to leading man roles, which was really foreign to me. Because I will tell you guys, things change on the outside way faster than they change here. Fat Jimmy that I didn't respect still was in my head. That's still who I saw in the mirror even after losing 100 pounds. But somebody saw me in a musical in Dallas and said, hey, why aren't you in New York City? It's a great idea. I don't know, I've never asked. I was waiting. You ever wait for somebody to give you permission to step into your greatness? You're waiting for somebody to go, here's your invitation to live a kick-ass life. It rarely happens. Stop waiting for it. And so I was like, why not? Which leads us back to the cold-ass morning in New York City. I'd been there about 3 years by this point. So I was getting in the subway, it was cold, bundled up. But I wasn't heading into Manhattan for a rehearsal for a Broadway show, or to be on a TV show or a movie. Does anybody here know what it means to do promotions? Okay, promotions just means any little side hustle job that you can string things together to barely make rent and eat. I had done coffee demonstrations in Macy's. I literally had been a filler at a party. Just pretend you're supposed to be at this party and walk around. And then I walk. But this was the worst. This is the worst. A, it's early. It's cold. I get there, and they say, hey, Jimmy, so glad you're here. You see the van over there around the corner? Go change into this. Anybody ever seen the movie Newsies? Yeah! Oh, super excited, aren't you? You love Christian Bale so much. For those of you that don't know, I think they made it into a Broadway show as well. So it's about paper boys in the 1930s. That's what they handed me. This little thing with the knickers and the little hat and the paper man, the paper boy strap. I'm damn near 30 years old by this point, let me tell you that as well. So it's not like I'm some struggling 18-year-old kid trying to make ends meet. And they say, okay, here's your costume. Anything with the word costume is just bad when you're trying to make a living. And here are a bunch of chocolates. Because the promotions, what paper boys had to do with chocolates, I have no clue. But he said, here, you're gonna pass out these chocolates to the oh-so-friendly people in New York City at 6 a.m. The moment in the mirror sucked. Not being able to go to the colleges I went to sucked. Doing coffee demonstrations at Macy's sucked. Nothing was as awful as that morning when you're literally trying to hand something to a human being for free and they don't acknowledge you're standing there. And just for a second, I was just so humiliated, and I found myself looking up. Literally looking up at all the billboards in Times Square. Broadway show, talk show, blockbuster movie, hot new series. It's supposed to be me. Nobody told them that I was showing up 3 years earlier, like, hey, here comes Texas. Reserve his spot on the board. And there was something in that moment that it was just like, quit waiting for somebody else to give you your stage. Quit waiting for somebody else to give you your show. Go do this on your own. And that was the moment that I started my business. I had been involved in my business for about a year, but I hadn't done anything with it. Some of you were playing around with the idea of wanting to do something, but you haven't had that moment. And I feel like it's because you don't know exactly, you don't know where you want to go. It wasn't about, oh, I want to be an influencer, or I want a bunch of likes or comments or subscribers. I didn't want to live this life anymore. I didn't want to be on somebody else's time, making embarrassing money, doing things that made me question my confidence and who I was as a human being. And so I started studying. I was like, cool, if things are going to change, you have to change. Jim Rohn, one of my favorite personal development. Dude, listen to Jim Rohn. Start your day listening to Jim Rohn. It's like your grandpa talking to you about how to live life. R-O-H-N, if you're not familiar. I love people that take notes. Oh my God, God bless you. Smart people take notes. I've had the privilege of Shalene Johnson being my business coach, mentor, and friend for the past 5 years, and she says, smart people take notes. And so I started studying things. I was like, okay, because up to this point, I already told you, like, I don't like mornings, and I really don't like, these are all these things, well, this is just how I am, right? Because we fall into that, well, I'm just not a morning person, or I'm just not extroverted, or I just don't know what to say. And then when I think about it, I was like, okay, well, if that's just not how I am, but that's got me to where I am, do I have the power to change some things? So, again, coming from the acting background, 9 times out of 10, people on the other side of the table would let me know if I was talented enough, good enough. I got judged, right? But if you ever have to audition for something and they say, thank you, that's no. So I started studying people. And what has led me now to be in business for 11 years. And this is what I want to help you guys figure out, because some of you guys are just getting started, and I think it's amazing. You have never had more opportunity to create the life that you want, serving the people that you want, making the impact that you want, than you do right now. But you got to change some actions, because we can woo, and we can watch 84 YouTube videos, and we can binge all of Angie's podcasts, but until you move your ass and do something about it, nothing's changing. I love you guys so much. I've been watching, I've been talking to you guys, I've been in the back, and I'm just like, I want to be your biggest cheerleaders. And I know me, I'm almost thankful that YouTube and podcasts and all that stuff wasn't as relevant when I got started, because I would have done the same thing. And you know why it is? Did you know when you go to an event like this, or you listen to that podcast, or you watch a YouTube video, do you realize the same endorphins that are going off in your head, how awesome you feel about being here? They're the exact same endorphins that go off in your head when you actually do something. So you leave here feeling like you already crushed it. You made your 6-figure launch. You're living on the boat. Wham, 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 like. And I love you, sweetheart, but you ain't done shit yet. I hope I entertained you. I hope you leave with some good, I hope you're taking notes. And I hope you review the notes. But I'm going to share a few things that I had to put into action. Because there were 3 parts that changed who, what happened, right? That changed the Jimmy that I've been describing to the dude you see up here now. Because there was no confidence. There was no step into like knowing exactly who I am. Because I'm coming out here not nervous because I'm not focused on me, because my job is to serve you right now. Right? The minute we start thinking about, I'm not good enough, I can't do this is what's going on in my life, I tell anybody that I work with my clients, I was like, go encourage somebody else now. Because the minute you put your energy into somebody else, you start focusing on your own shit, and it's funny because it kind of disappears. Go pour into somebody. Gosh, I wish somebody would encourage me. Go encourage somebody else. I wish that person would just call and check in on me. Go check in on somebody else. You control these things. So I told you there were 3 things. Number 1 was making a decision. I had that moment, right? There were 2 moments, in the mirror and in Times Square. I made a decision. I burned the boats. There's no turning back. A lot of times when I'm talking to new people that are starting in their business, I tell them, when people ask me, like, Jimmy, have you been doing this a decade? What's the big key? And I was like, you know what? It wasn't a conscious decision, but now from here I can see what it was. That I didn't get into this thing trying it. I was like, I'm in. I'm a lifer. If I never make $1, if nobody ever says yes to me, I'm in. Why? Because I'm better inside this community than outside of it. Right? Because like, let's say you sign up. Or let's say you launch the podcast or the YouTube show, you start the Instagram account, and you get no followers. Nobody buys from you. It may be a while. Are you a better person because you're plugging in because you got introduced to personal development or the amazing podcast from here, or that you're at an event like this? Yes. So just be that better person. And as you grow as a better person, you're gonna attract better people. So number one was like, just making that decision, because this is what you're doing. For those of you that are trying, I'm gonna give this thing a go. I'm gonna try this Instagram thing. I think I want to. You're building and working your business with your hand on the back door. And you're waiting. And you're waiting for the first time somebody says no, you don't get engagement, things don't go well, you're like, I need to suck them out. Because you're waiting to be justified for your doubt. And I love you enough to tell you, if you're building your business with your hand on the back door, just leave. You don't have the stomach for this fight. You have to, and look at the support you have around you. I hope you've made like 84 new friends this week. Because when you're down and when you're frustrated, you need to plug back into that. We need community, both physically and virtually on the phone. So be in this, make a decision, be in this for the long haul. I started studying successful people. And I realized a few things. Successful people got up early in the morning. I already told you, I didn't like that. I'm a night owl. I grew up in the theater. I bartended. Les Brown is another one of my favorite personal development speakers. And he tells a story about, he's like, there was an old guy sitting on a porch, and there was a dog laying on the porch, moaning and groaning. And a young guy comes by and goes, why is that dog moaning and groaning? It's like the dog's sitting on a nail. He's like, oh, why didn't he move? He's like, it doesn't hurt enough to move. It just hurts enough to moan and groan. And some of you are living right there, right now. Nobody cares. I'm sorry, but nobody cares, and nobody's gonna move you off the nail. So you gotta decide somewhere along the nail hurts enough to move. And that was me for my morning routine. My morning routine now, I don't even recognize me. I get up at 5:30 in the morning without an alarm now, because I'm excited about what I do. The very first thing I do in the morning is I grab my phone, I put it on YouTube or a podcast, and I put on some kind of personal development. And when I say first thing in the morning, it's literally like, here, I don't know my name, I'm reaching for the phone, I push play, and it starts. I don't have to watch it, I just need to hear it. Trying to figure out what's going on, I know I gotta pee, where's my life? But you know what I found out? It's not that kind of show. I only have 5 more minutes, sorry. What I found is there was about 20 hidden minutes in the morning just trying to get to my pre-workout or coffee or whatever, that my mind was primed to what I was gonna be that day. Study after study after study showed that little moment in time. So you have to attack your mind before your mind attacks you. Fat Jimmy isn't dead, I just drown him out every morning. That little motherfucker is there every day. And I'm like, not today, Fat Jimmy. Ooh! Because Tony Robbins is talking to me, because Angie Lee is talking to me. Somebody's speaking life into me right now. Because my job is to pour into you. If your job is to pour into your clients, if your job is to help more people, you gotta fill your bucket up first. Put on your mask before you help the person next to you in the party. So for me, it's get up. It's do that personal development. And then I work out first thing in the morning. I get this body moving. Because, again, that's when I have my best business ideas. I want those endorphins running. And then it's a series of writing and journaling over coffee, because coffee's amazing. And it's good. And so that was it, like this morning routine. If I just gave you guys my full morning routine, would that be helpful? Yeah. Awesome. Write down or go on your phone to productivebook.com. I laid it all out for you because I love you. Productivebook.com. The last thing I learned or realized in long-term business that I had to be better at, which I actually found all my failures were preparing me for, was telling stories. Angie talked about it up here. You've probably heard it this past 2 days. You know, whether it's Jatana talking about IG stories, or share your story, or your story's gonna improve the world. I just find most people don't know how to tell it. Or they're waiting, they don't think it's good enough. We're all too close to our story. I was talking to a client the other day that's like, you know, Jimmy, I want to share my story, I want to impact people. You know, I still have 80 pounds to lose, but I've already lost 30. And I was like, what? And they were like, oh yeah, but that doesn't matter because I still have this to lose. I said, do you know how many people think that you are the shit because you've lost 30 pounds and they're sitting on their couch depressed and about to give up? You just gotta be 2 steps ahead of somebody to teach, right? So I'm gonna tell you how I found out the best part. This is how you tell your story in 4 parts. Because I'm getting close here, so we gotta roll. 4 parts. And you know what the best part is? I just demonstrated it for you. Number 1 is where I was. Where were you? Were you like me? Were you a fat kid? Were you broke? Did you not have a career? And number 2, what were you dissatisfied about? What sucks about it? Number 1, I didn't like being overweight. I didn't like having confidence. Number 2, man, I hated other people telling me where to be and when to be places. Number 3 is what you found. What did you found that changed that? You know? Was it meditation? Was it a workout program? Was it a company? Was it a community? I don't know what it was. And then number 4 is either your results or why you're excited about the future. And the reason I teach it that way is because 100-pound overweight Jimmy, not having lost a pound or made $1 yet, could still use that formula. So like, this is where I was super dissatisfied. I found some workouts and a community that really loves me. I'm just starting, but I'm excited about the future because, and do you want to come with me? That's your bonus number 5. How can you change their life? So if you either said, I've done it, now I can help you do it. But even if you haven't done it yet, if you haven't made any money, do you know people want to be a part of helping to build something more so than they want to be a part of something that's already built? People can look at me and say, Jimmy, you lost 100 pounds. They admire. They're like, great, good job. But it doesn't move them to actually take action because it seems overwhelming, it seems too daunting. But if you knew somebody at work 7 days ago and they shared, well, in the past 7 days, you know, I've lost 7 pounds, I kicked a soda habit, and I'm having more energy. That person goes, oh wait, I knew her. 7 pounds in 7 days, I can do that shit. Same thing with income. You don't have to be 6-7 figures living on a boat to start sharing the fact that you're making income doing what you're doing. And another client that I worked with, she was like, Jimmy, I really don't feel like I can share my business very much because I don't feel like I've made enough money or had enough, success. I said, Karen, okay. I said, tell me, I said, what have you made money in your business? What have you paid for with something in your business? And she's like, oh, that's easy. Me and my girlfriends, we go get our nails done once a week and I don't have to take out of the family budget and I don't feel guilty about that. I said, do you realize you could build $1 million business with that story? I was like, how many women out there feel guilty because they're taking money away from their family or their spouse or whoever because they want to go just play at Target or just get the nails done or just take care of themselves? Right, you laugh, but it moves the needle. And so that's the review. So the 3 things again. You got to make a decision. You got to change what you're doing, and that starts in the morning. Productivebook.com. You don't even have to have my schedule. You can look at my schedule and make your own. I just share, this is what I ended up doing. And then share that story, and then share it again and again. Every time you're like, everybody's heard this one. You got new eyeballs on YouTube, and you can't forget about hide and go seek over here behind the chair. Who has to hear something 7 to 10 times before they make a decision. Ladies, I am cheering you on. I love what you're doing. Thank you so much for letting me be here. Have a